Hello.
Hi. Guys, Matt Palmer has even more technology in front of us today.
There's never something called too much technology in my book. I feel like we always should be doing more tech.
Doing more tech. Matt Palmer has a timer here on his iPad just so we can know like how long we're going.
Exactly. How long we're going and like when the podcast actually starts.
Yeah.
When things start happening. Hi, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny. Hello.
How are we all doing today is the real question.
Everybody okay?
We're in the midst of a long weekend.
Not for some people.
I knew you were going to say that.
Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays are never my weekend. You know this.
I know. But for others of us.
Oh, that's the worst when like on like dating apps when people are like, are you excited for the weekend? I'm like, no.
No, it's actually when I work.
Actually when I work.
Oh my God.
But you know, hello Jeff. Hello.
Hi Tyler, Jeff. The people are here. The people are coming in.
Are you going to talk about Tina Turner?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just because it's sad. Palmer, King of Tech. It's true. Hi, Jeanette is here.
Jeanette, Lana, my mother's here. Oh,
Montana?
my mom's hanging out with our friend Riley today. Riley is the daughter of our one of our friends.
Oh, okay.
And so Riley's like spending the weekend, and she just turned 12. So happy birthday, Riley!
Happy birthday, Riley! Is she watching this, Riley?
She might be. I don't know. She's doing arts and crafts with my mom. I know.
12 is young.
They were painting bowls.
Okay. Well, we kind of say some bad words. So Riley, if we say a bad word, just cover your ears and don't repeat it, young lady.
Don't repeat it.
Or,
what?
Young lady, young man?
Young lady, yes.
Young lady, okay. Yeah. Want to make sure Riley could be either. Watching the Succession's finale as well. Don't spoil. I won't spoil. Thank you so much for not spoiling. I will be watching this as soon as Matt Steele leaves my home. And I can't wait.
Oh, is that why you're timing? You're just like, okay, enough time. No, you're out.
I'm trying to get, I feel like the timestamps are helpful for people who don't listen to the podcast and be like, okay, I want to get to them actually starting the podcast.
Fair.
And I don't always do it. But I feel like if it's here and I'm like,
there are some people who get angry when there are no timestamps.
You know what? They can put the timestamps there. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I don't think we should be responsible for everything. We're making the content.
And guys, it's a lot of work.
It is.
If Riley is here, Juan, keep it together. We haven't seen Juan in forever.
I know.
I think Juan gave up on us.
It's okay.
You know what? Juan said, stop. You're losing me.
It happens. I'm literally recovering from T-Swift Friday night. Chris Kelly. I assume about the ice spice of it all, about Karma being released. That's exciting. Guys, did you listen to Taylor's You're Losing Me? Yes, I heard it on YouTube.
Yes, we'll talk about it.
Yes, it's going to come up.
It's going to come up.
Michael Smith, that 2 gay thing is going to come up as well. If you're on the Discord, you know what Michael's referring to. Little Mermaid. I didn't get a chance to see The Little Mermaid. The plan was to see it today, actually, for me. And I didn't get the chance to do it because I was trying to go to a specific theater that I like, and I was hanging out with our friends, Joe and Tim. I'm going to repeat this on the podcast, so don't get mad. And I couldn't find 4 seats in a row. It was like you could sit 2 over here and 2 over here. And I'm like, well, that's not fun.
Oh, yeah. Like movies like this, like the Disney releases and like the Marvel releases and all that stuff. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, then I can understand wanting to see it like the first weekend and everything. Because, you know, I was desperate to see Women Talking its opening weekend.
Of course you were.
But like, because I'm not like hardcore like Disney or Marvel or something, it's like I can wait till weekend 3 to do this.
Exactly.
So Riley's in bed. Well, sweet dreams.
Oh, yeah, sweet dreams.
You can say the F word all you want.
Yes. Have a great fucking night, Riley. Okay, aka Matt P is lazy. Lazy is not right. Someone who prioritizes their time. Correct.
And listen, someone needs to buy the tickets the weeks afterwards.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, we got to keep the momentum going.
I think Grace was saying I'm lazy about the timestamps, but whatever.
Oh, the timestamps. Oh, I thought she was talking about Little Mermaid.
I mean, and also I'd like it to be noted in the Discord, everyone was coming for me for not seeing Little Mermaid first weekend. Is Matt still even going to see Little Mermaid is the question.
You know what? That is the question.
That is the question. I should not be the bearer of the brunt.
I'm sure I'll see at least parts of it.
I'm sure you'll see
at some point in my life.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but I hear it was good. Like I heard a bunch of people enjoyed it.
Oh Lord, you're losing me, killed me. I mean, those lyrics were tough. They're very cutting. I know you're going to talk about the VPR reunion. It's a must. I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit, but
VPR,
Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, Vanderpump Rules.
Okay, I'm glad we have people here in the chat that are in, because I feel like as few people are getting into it in the Discord, we have more Vanderpump fans who are already there. You don't have to see it. Little Mermaid was cute. Hallie was so pretty. Thoughts on the VPR reunion? Excellent. The Little Mermaid needs both of your box office. I'll be there. But by the way, I mean, we'll discuss it. Internationally, maybe. But the Little Mermaid's doing well. I feel like
it's doing fine.
It's doing well.
Yeah.
It's like U.S. domestic wise, like it outdid Aladdin. So it's like I'm not mad.
Yeah, we're not like doing Avatar numbers, but like what is?
What is? That's the question.
Yeah.
What is?
You know, and that's okay.
Grace probably won't see it, but I will be streaming Hallie's songs. Like, hey, Hallie is the best. Is Blue Ivy a topic? Not really. But it's cool that she got on stage with her mom.
Yeah, good for her.
That's great.
I liked it, but I ain't forcing y'all to watch it. When is the Chatty Cathy summer tour dropping?
Hello. I mean, we do have a dream of having an LA show between now and next year, and I think it can happen.
I think it can absolutely happen. What would we do in a live? I mean, just respond to media and talk about it?
Respond to media. I think it could be like a live podcast thing. People do podcast tours all the time.
They
and
do.
Just like upload. So we'll do what we do right now.
Oh, God.
It'll be like
Think
this.
about the technology mishaps that are going to happen.
I mean, I think it's honestly going to be less technology. We won't have to stream it live. I mean, I won't be streaming it live. So
we'll have someone else hook up that stuff.
No, don't stream it live. Buy a ticket and come to the show.
Oh, true. That too. Not everyone lives in LA.
Well, get on a plane. Or if you're Grace, get on a bus. Never watched VPR, but I did watch that reunion and still knew exactly what they were talking about. Thanks to y'all. I'm so glad I can be of service, truly. And if you're going to watch the reunions, watch that last episode prior to the reunion about the scandal. You'll get it. Who are you rooting for in the Succession finale? No one spoil it. I'm, of course, rooting for Shiv. Shiv is a woman.
Rooting for, who's going to get whatever
that happens,
inheritance?
Yes, who is going to get to be the CEO of the company.
Okay.
Waystar Royco.
Is it a possibility that none of them?
I
would assume
everything's a possibility at this point. I would say most likely it's going to be Shiv or Kendall. But we'll have to see. I will be able to tell you this time next week exactly what happens.
Okay.
I've been re-listening to Tina Turner's work too. She inspired all of our faves and did it better than anybody. I mean, a true trailblazer, absolutely. Can't wait to be flown out for my skincare segment. Montana, absolutely. New live podcast, but also Succession is ending today. Casey Musgraves really said happy and sad at the same time.
Wow.
I do take the train. Thank you. It'll only be 35 hours in comfort. Thank you. Hello. And Grace, the thing is you love that. And you have that iPad that can hold 1 billion hours on it, so you can do your long bus trips to get here. And it works.
I'm sure they also have plugs like in those comfort trains.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, she'll be great.
I hope the tour is still explaining eras of Broadway to Palmer. I mean, I could do it.
I mean, I don't need that personally, but maybe we'll just be us doing brackets that the top left always is right.
where the top left is always ends up being the winner.
Next time we do a bracket, which might be this week, get ready.
Oh, really?
Might be this week.
Okay.
I don't think there's as clear of a favorite.
Okay.
In the list I'm thinking, and B, the favorites I will not put. The favorite in the top left.
I think you need to write them all out first and then scramble them up.
You say this every time, and I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
Is it the one we were thinking about doing, doing a bracket of people's best?
No, it's not that one. It is it's Mariah's number ones.
Oh, okay, fair.
Which fair. I don't think there's a clearer winner to that, as there's a Kelly Clarkson single, of course, Sober's the best.
Yeah.
Or even debut album. Sorry guys, but Jagged Little Pill is the best, and it is a debut according to me. Thank you.
According to America.
According to America. Hello?
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh my God. So what else have we been up to this weekend besides watching Little Mermaid and getting ready for Succession? Any fun plans? Any cool things?
Yeah. What are you eating? Burgers,
fries,
hot dogs, or pork roll if you're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or New York?
Is that a big thing for Memorial Day?
Yeah. Roll? Oh, any type of barbecue setting. It's what do you want? You want a burger, hot dog, or pork roll?
What's pork roll again?
Pork roll is the pork, who knows what it is? it's the processed pork roll that you slice and grill on the grill like a hamburger.
Yes.
And yeah, it's great. It's the best thing ever.
All right.
I can't wait to go home in July and have a lot of it.
What are your dates? Your July dates?
July, middle of July.
Okay.
I don't know the exact dates yet. I have to find my tickets soon. Probably July 14th to 24th maybe.
So I'll be on a trip and then you'll be on a
trip.
Well, we'll have to make that Taylor Swift video right in between that time.
Yeah.
That's Speak Now TV. We don't recognize Canadian albums. It's true. And we don't recognize those first two Janet.
Oh, wow. The Girlicious erasure.
Who said something about Girlicious?
They're Canadian, aren't they?
Oh, they are, yes.
Those are Canadian albums.
But did that come on? It's on the U.S. Spotify these days. I don't think I can find Alanis' first two albums.
Who in the U.S. was listening to
that? You and me. We were.
We were. Well, I am now. I wasn't at the time because I didn't know they existed.
I knew they existed because I was watching that search for the next Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
That became Girlicious. It was great.
Pork roll versus Taylor ham is a war in New Jersey. It's called pork roll. I'm from Trenton, which is where pork roll originated, and we call it pork roll. Thank you.
What's the other one? Taylor ham?
In North Jersey, they call it Taylor ham, but in Central Jersey and Southern Jersey, they call it pork roll.
Wow.
And it's called pork roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it's not up to date. Will you please give Riley a shout out? She's here with me. Oh, hi Riley. We hope you're having a lovely time with Mama Steele.
We gave a shout out in the beginning, but apparently you were in bed. Are you out of bed now?
Yes, this is a better shout out for you to hear. And we're so happy that you're doing well, and we love you very much.
And your bowl that you painted looks beautiful.
Oh, yes. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it does.
My mom was sending pictures of the bowls that they were painting. They were doing arts and crafts. And I'm glad they were doing arts and crafts with Riley because it'll get it out of their system for when I arrive in July and they won't force me to do arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts.
I hate arts and crafts. And then when I go home, they like make me do arts and crafts and everything. But look, a nice little bowl.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that, Riley's creation.
Oh my gosh.
Probably it's not in focus, but
that's okay.
It's okay. An
Riley's
artist.
A talent is the point. Isn't Jack Little Pill Canadian? Yes, but it was released worldwide. It was her American breakthrough album. Oh wait, Christian also graduated 2 weeks ago. Congratulations!
Oh, congratulations, Christian.
I don't think Girlicious, I was gonna say characters, the members of the group are Canadian, but that album I believe was released in Canada first, or like had a large release. I don't know if it ever was fully released in America until it was just like, oh, let's throw it on Spotify several years down the road.
Okay,
you know.
All right.
Just pottery painting and having meltdowns over you're losing me. Oh, don't have meltdowns.
Oh yeah, Montana was showing us her beautiful arts and crafts pottery painting.
Oh my
god.
Well. Oh yes,
it's the week of painting pottery.
I guess it is. Have you painted pottery this week?
Nope.
Me neither.
No, I have not been.
I mean, like a color me mine I could maybe do, but I can't.
I can do that once, maybe like every 7 years.
That's specific.
But then when I'm done, I'm like, what do I do with this?
Like, keep it.
For what?
Make a vase.
What?
Something that calls to you.
Yes, pork roll, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser bun. Kaiser bun is essential.
What's a Kaiser bun?
It's a type of roll.
All right. It's like Jersey's a whole new world.
Oh yeah, we got all different types of breads, baby.
In Costa Rica, I thought of Jersey because they had full service gas tanks.
Oh, good.
Gas people.
It's the way it should be.
I was like, oh, this is. I was like, I don't know. Like, when do I tip? Like, am I doing too much? I don't know. There's a lot going on.
No, you don't have to. That's what they do.
I know.
They just put gas in your car. You don't have to get out. It's safer. It's great.
Safer for that you won't like explode.
No, like safer, like because like if you have to get gas like late at night, you don't have to get out of your car to like, you know, and be by yourself or like at a gas station.
For something that stuck with me, it was like, I feel like a 2020 or something when I was growing up was like someone was pumping gas or like their gas tank was open or something, and there was like enough. What is the when you have friction on your clothes or whatever, and there's like a little spark?
Static electricity.
There was enough static electricity. They blew up.
They blew up.
Everything blew up. They blew up, and so that's like one of those fears I have of like, what if I have static electricity while I'm pumping my gas and I blow up?
Oh, you do have a lot of electrons on you.
I do. I have a lot of electronics on my Apple products. Yeah. I don't know.
It's a lot of negative energy.
No, it's a lot of negative energy, darling. It's positivity.
Well, but those aren't electrons. Those are protons.
I don't care.
There's protons, electrons, and neutrons.
I've fallen asleep.
Ooh, it's all coming back. Wow.
Mean,
third grade or sixth grade. I don't even know.
What Celine was singing about. You touch me like this. And going crazy over hearing back from work about that. I know you know. I don't know it. If you know, you don't. I don't know. What is this final destination? I get scared. It's like also my fear of metal straws because someone else had a metal straw in a cup when they were at home and they fell.
Ooh.
I will never ever buy a metal straw. I will never use a metal straw. I have little plastic kind of like silicone kind of straws that I can use it because I'm like, okay, if I fall, it'll be fine. But
yeah, because I have a metal boba straw because it came with like the cup that I like bought, the reusable cup that I bought for the one boba place I always go to when I drive up here.
Right.
And sometimes like I go to put it in my mouth and it just like hits my teeth, and I'm just like if I put this in my mouth more aggressively, I chipped a tooth, I would. This
is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be able to live.
I don't like.
Oh my god! Remember that time I locked my keys in my car?
Yes.
And did a podcast. Imagine if I like chipped my tooth on my way up, like my front tooth, and I was like, I still have to go up for the podcast.
I know.
And that would be a story to tell.
I mean, and you'd have your chipped tooth on the camera.
I know. Oh, you know who I would be like? JT from Survivor, who I loved.
Oh, I don't know.
Who I fell in love with when he chipped his tooth. And he still showed up and won the challenge.
Well, that's
I would still show up to the podcast and win.
Good
whatever.
For you. I'm glad you'd win. I don't know how you win a podcast, but I believe you could do it.
I don't know how I win a podcast either, but I know I'm doing it right now.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of that cell. Montana, queen of cells and queen of skincare. Versatility, we love it.
I used to enjoy all that stuff, like learning about like cells and like mitosis and like all that nonsense.
I love
it's
that.
not nonsense. It's like science,
Right.
but like, you know.
It did something for you. I like the metal straw because I feel that like the drinks get colder. I have no evidence to support it. Well, you know what? We all have to feel our feelings. Like that's great.
What's your preference, metal straw or paper straw?
I mean, I will not use a metal straw. So paper.
Okay.
It's like I don't like love a paper straw, but I do think the people who get so up in arms angry about them are like doing too much.
I think anyone who gets overly passionate about a straw in general is like, there are people who I like work with who get so excited because they're like, I just bought a new metal straw. I'm so excited. And I'm like, what? Like this is a whole conversation. I think people who need to carry a drink with them wherever they go have a problem.
What problem?
Like some sort of problem, to the point where like it becomes their like personality, where like they need to have multiple metal straws and they get excited about their metal straws. It's just like the people who always have to have a coffee, the people who are overly excited about carrying water with them at all times is like, guys, I realize we have to drink water and hydration is good.
Hydration's great.
But like there are some people who go way overboard with it.
I think some people get on a high horse about their water intake.
Yes.
In a way that's like, guys, why I don't get why Matt P hates metal straws, because I mean, I don't know if Riley is still listening. Riley, if you're out there, please close your ears. I read an article where someone was walking around their house with a metal straw in their drink and they tripped and fell and it like went through their brain.
It like went through their brain.
It did, and I don't want to scare Riley. I really don't. But
She's
like,
12. She can handle that imagery.
I can't handle it now. I literally have cut out an entire object from my life because it was scary. And no. Paper straws are annoying, but they don't ruin it for me. Like, I don't worry about it. Matt still hates hydration.
Well, my thing is like I've found out through like going to the doctor and everything that I guess I hold water very well. Like I'm a very hydrated person in general.
That.
I think it's because most of my diet consists of fruit and or soup.
But it's a lot of water.
But like when I drink water, I have to pee immediately.
That's true.
Like immediately. So like I can't imagine having water with me everywhere because I would just be peeing everywhere.
Yes, you do too much. And I feel like I've had a lot of water today, actually. And because I was drinking with some friends, we had a brunch and played some video games at Joe and Tim's house. And so I feel like I've gone to the bathroom a million times because I'm trying to keep up with my water as I'm drinking my alcohol, because that's what you should do. And I don't know. It is a lot when you have to go to the bathroom that much. But I do think being hydrated is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I guess. But like, it's not that hard to hydrate yourself. Like if you just like have some water during meals.
Right. But if you look up how much water you should be drinking, a lot of us aren't drinking enough.
I don't think that's true. I think that is a marketing thing by water bottle
big
companies.
water.
I really think it is, because it's just like if you just have water like during meals, you should be hydrated for the day. If you don't, then that is you have a bodily issue.
Did the doctor just confirm that you are especially hydrated as a human being?
I guess. Well, I don't know. Y'all eat more fruit. I don't know what to tell you, but like it is not sustainable to like carry around giant jugs of water with you every day.
But if everybody wants to have their water, let them have it.
I guess. I feel like it's just a lot of waste and just hassle, like because you always have to bring something, and then I left my water bottle here, I left my and I don't understand, like why do you want to have something attached to you at all times like that?
My feeling is if you're doing it but being respectful of those who don't drink as much water as you, then I think go and have all the fun you want with your water. If you're being like, I don't feel like you've had enough water today, it's like, well, that's too much. You don't need to be commenting on my water intake, but if it's a priority for you, then I think more power to you.
I guess. I don't get it. I don't get the whole water thing.
But there are worse things for people to be obsessed with than water, yes?
Yeah.
2K Matt's an anti-water pro-fruit channel. I like water. I love my lime water. I'm always drinking that lime water.
You are, yes.
Because the thing is, I've never been like a plain water person. So if I can like doctor up my water, make it a little carbonated, throw some lime in there, we love it.
I like plain water. I think plain water's fine.
A little boring.
No, I like it. I don't need to be, stimulated at all times. You're very much the Gen Z generation that grew up with their iPhones.
I didn't grow up with an iPhone.
I need to be stimulated at all times. My taste buds need to be tingling.
I mean, I just don't want to feel like nothingness as it's going down my throat. I would like to have a little pizzazz.
Oh, this is weird coming from someone who loves trefoils.
Do not bring up trefoils. It's just a subtler treat. It is a treat for those of us
That's what plain water is.
No,
it's a subtler treat.
There's nothing. At the end of the day, there's just the liquid feeling. Matt Palmer going to join Water Talk. I'm really not, because I feel like those people put in like sweetenery syrups. Have you heard of this? People who like, oh, I'm flavoring my water to make it XYZ, and it's like, no, I'm just putting in some lime juice. I order my lime juice off Amazon. Get my CO2 cans from.
You order lime? Can't you just buy lime juice at Ralph's or the grocery store?
But it's one of like my constant orders on Amazon that's easy to reorder, and they come in like big jugs.
I guess if you buy it in bulk, it's easier to get it online.
Absolutely.
Like they don't have all the big like lime juice specifically.
And I have
stores.
Giant lime juice.
You put so much lime in your water.
Though. Like for the normal amount of like what you put in a like the cans that go into your carbonator or whatever, I put 1 shot of lime juice.
Okay.
Yeah, you think I'm like drowning it in lime juice? I'm not. It's a shot.
It's a shot of lime. It's a shot. I'm just taking a shot.
What are we talking about?
I have no fucking clue what we're talking about.
But yeah, it's just a shot.
Okay.
In my soda stream. That's all you need.
You should see him with this soda stream, guys. I've never seen a piece of machinery more abused in my life.
How is it abused?
Because you know how like you're supposed to push it and it just bubbles once. It just like bubbles once. He does it like 5 times. He's like,
all right.
And he's always like, why is my soda machine always breaking?
That is the old soda stream. I now have a newer soda stream that you literally just have to press a button.
Okay.
And you either can press the 1, 2, or the 3. And I'm just like, oh, I got to press the 3.
And you press the 3 twice.
No, I only press it once. And it's like the amount I push it doesn't change how much of sparkling I'm getting in the water. Okay. So I no longer do that because actually Jackson broke that version. If we're being honest, back when we lived together.
Jackson.
He overpressed.
Christian says, I hate sparkling water if there's no flavor. It tastes disgusting. Agreed.
Get that lime juice.
Seltzer water. Revolting.
We need a water channel on the Discord. We really don't. Sparkling water tastes tastes like off lemons. I hate it. Guys, just throw a shot of lime in there. And you're
when you put the lime juice in there, it's much better.
Good.
Yeah. The plain seltzer water is one of my like 6 things that I refuse to consume.
I like it better than regular water, but it's just missing a little lime.
No, to me, like seltzer water, like plain seltzer water, just makes not even plain, like but even like the LaCroix, whatever. It makes me like more thirsty. It tastes like I'm drinking sand.
Oh no!
Like I really, really hate it.
I feel like that excitement, that pop, really gives it to me.
I don't need that pop.
I love the pop.
Some bottled sparkling waters have some sodium bicarbonate too, which makes it even worse. Yeah, it tastes like minerals, and it's like.
Maybe I should sell my lime sparkling water. It
seems like patent it. Go for it.
I feel like they do have some sparkling waters that are only natural flavors and like are literally just lime juice. But hello.
I mean, you could be like the girl who created the pink sauce.
I don't want to be like her.
Why not?
I mean, I do think the pink sauce is probably doing well, but she was sending out really rancid food to people.
Well,
I don't want that.
And look at her now. She does. Think of all the people that would join our live stream.
I know, all the people. Well, we're happy you all are here. You guys chose us over Succession or during Succession today, which is a big deal because this is the finale that's going to be an hour and a half. And in lieu of that, you're watching 2 gays argue about water. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But this does kind of tie into the Little Mermaid of it all, right? Like she's in so much water.
Wow. There's water everywhere.
There's water everywhere for the Little Mermaid.
Now that is someone who drinks too much water. Fucking Ariel.
It's like, Ariel, get over
it.
Get over it. You love water.
Oh, you want to be hydrated.
I like how we literally go off about the most random subjects. I mean, there's no lack of opinions, I feel like, between the two of us and between all of us out there in the world. Like, we're a very opinionated bunch.
And if you're a member of the Discord, you know that whenever the topic of food comes up,
it doesn't come up.
Everyone has something to say.
There's literally things we cannot talk about, and cooking is one of them. Literally, we cannot discuss it. I need the sparkling water hit. I need my eyes to water. I agree. There's nothing worse to me than like a lightly sparkling. Like, I need it to be sparkling, and it means it. Like, I was so tired last night. I went to Cheesecake Factory with some friends, but then I was like, I'm by a Target. I'm taking my 3 CO2 cans that I've put in my car. I've got to, like, trade these out for filled CO2 because my soda stream was making the weakest sparkling water, and I just cannot have it.
When you say weak, do you mean that, like, there's not enough density of bubbles, or the bubbles are too small? Like a Pellegrino, those bubbles are so small, and I hate sparkling water, like, in general, but, like, Pellegrino specifically, it's kind of just like these bubbles are so small.
I don't mind
like a big bubble.
I don't need a bigger or smaller bubble. It's the density of
the density.
It was like it's mostly flat with just a little bit of sparkle, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. Like I need you to be have some chutzpah.
Yeah, it's like you're searching for the bubble. It's like when you get a boba and like they don't put enough boba in it, and you're like sipping around, and you're like, don't tell me that I ran out of boba, and because I still have half of my cup.
I know. And we don't like being lied to.
We don't. We want what we paid for.
What can I do to get into boba? Because I feel like every time I've got it, I'm like, the boba things at the bottom are still weird to me.
Well, then you just have to either get used to it or don't get into boba.
I mean, I guess.
That's literally a boba. Maybe like the smaller boba. You would like the smaller boba instead of the big ones.
Maybe.
And maybe it was like, maybe they didn't cook their boba well.
And like, I feel like the straw has to be so big to get the bobas in. And
yeah,
of
course.
I don't know. It's like, it feels like I'm sucking down a pinball.
Yeah, it's great.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's great. Topo Chico, I will say, is acceptable sparkling water
Chico's
to me
great.
because that has like, it feels like the natural limeness to it.
Okay. Topo Chico I do like.
A food argument's going to be the cause of apocalypse, I'm sure. It really
You're
will.
absolutely right. If the apocalypse starts on the 2K Mats Discord, which, by the way, we're talking about a lot, go to patreon.com/2K Mats. If you want to be a part of the Discord, the Patreon's 2 weeks-ish away from having a big revamp, so you can hear a lot about it in the coming weeks. But it's a very fun place to be. We chat with friends all day.
Yeah.
And this is where we have mini channels about like competitive reality TV, Bravo TV, skincare, the Wicked movie.
The Renaissance Tour,
the Eras Tour. There's so many places where you can get your feelings out and talk amongst friends, you know?
Is boba different from the one that pops? Yes, I don't do popping boba in my boba. I just do regular boba.
What's popping boba?
It's like, instead of it being like a full dense ball of tapioca, it's like it's a ball of like juice of some kind.
Oh.
And like it's like a thin membrane over it. And so when you put it in your mouth and like either bite it or like the pressure of your mouth like pushes on it, the juice pops out.
Oh.
I like a popping boba maybe on like a yogurt or something, like a frozen yogurt. But like I don't generally do that. I'm not even though I love fruit, I'm not like a fruity boba person for my drink.
Is it popping? When you say the popping boba, I'm feeling like it's Gushers. Is it Gushers?
No, the membrane over is much thinner than the Gushers.
Okay.
It's not like a gummy. It's like it's a very thin outer shell of the popping boba.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that you guys call it boba, where Aussies have the original name bubble tea.
Yeah, it was always called bubble tea to me until I moved to LA, because on the East Coast they say bubble tea, but I think on the East Coast they're starting to say boba more. But on the West Coast it's always like boba, and so when I came here and was calling it bubble tea, all the kids, the LA kids, were just like, "What's that?" And I was like, why don't you educate yourself? But now I call it boba.
I was going to say, it's shocking that you made the change.
I
feel
did.
Like you usually dig your heels in and stuff like that.
I always dig my heels in. You will never, ever hear me refer to a slice of plain like pizza as cheese. Ever.
I mean,
it is plain.
I mean, it is cheese.
But every pizza has cheese on it, unless it's a tomato pie, and that's a whole different thing.
I feel like I just got I just got a pizza from across the street at Hail Mary. Well, no. That you know where I live, but across the street. I feel like the last two pizzas I've had have been kind of light on the cheese. I'm like, is this the new style?
Oh, that's great.
Where I miss the cheese a bit.
No, because sometimes LA pizza, they put way too much cheese on it, and it's just like, this is nothing but cheese and like some bad sauce and some like cardboard bread.
Look, if you're talking about Papa John's, you know I love it. So I would love for you to not judge my hometown hero. Except Papa John, I think himself was a Trumper and we hate him. But I think he's been removed from the company. So I can still support the company.
Okay.
All right. A slice of plain, who says that?
It's called plain. It's a plain pie. But yeah, light cheese, that's something that we order a lot. Like when we go to like a pizza place, we're always like, oh, can we get like large plain light cheese? Or if we get tomato pie, then it's just a sprinkling of Parmesan.
I mean, and now we're discussing what we call sodas. And we'll never get to a solution, but they're all...
Guys, because cultures exist.
It's true, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
And this is America, and we all have different cultures. We're
true.
Beautiful.
And this is also worldwide. There are people here not from America on the line.
That's true.
Yes, which we love that. I mean... I think I'm just more I would just call it by its name, like Timothée Chalamet said, call it by its name. It's a Coke, it's a Pepsi, it's a Sprite. It's what it is.
Yeah, but you would call like a Sprite a Coke.
They're all Cokes.
So you're not calling it by its name.
I would never call a Sprite a Coke. I'd call a Sprite a Sprite.
Okay.
But I would accept if someone called it a Coke. I would accept soda. Pop would be tough.
Pop is tough. But
did y'all talk Little Mermaid? Yeah, this isn't Little Mermaid. I thought this was it. I mean, honestly, there's not that much to say except it made a bunch of money. And same thing for someone asked if we're going to talk about Blue Ivy. No, she danced with Beyonce on the Renaissance tour. It's very cool. She came out during Power, I think. But I don't think there's much to say about that.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, she did a good job.
She did a great job.
Proud of her.
Sparkling.
Everyone looked like they were having fun.
Wait, is sparkling coffee real? Sparkling coffee? I've never heard of that. I mean, I love everything sparkling. Maybe I need to try it.
Sure. I mean, go for it.
It's never too late to try.
It's never. I mean, coffee's one of the 6 things that I refuse to consume, so I will not be trying that. But
Matt's pop is the best. Okay, people say pop. Christian says pop. Soda pop is the worst. I mean, it's a bad song. That we can agree on. Here we go now.
It's like, oh.
I mean, I know that there are people out there who are like, oh my God, Britney. Back then, like, I don't know why they had her sing in that way. When she was a kid, she had the big voice, and they changed her and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, guys, it would have never worked the other way. It would have never worked.
And when she was a kid, like, all little kids, like, who would do, like, the audition thing and trying to be singers, like, they all kind of tried singing like that.
Yes.
Like, that was always, like, the goal, to try to make this child sound as mature as possible. Especially in the 90s when, like all the pop stars were adult contemporary.
Yes,
like,
and they were big singers, big voices.
Yeah.
But no, Britney's singing is how she should have sung.
Yeah.
Period. Sometimes producers are right, not all the time. Matt P agrees Britney's non-singles are bad. That is not what I said. I said Soda Pop is bad. That first album has some clunkers. But then we get into Oops. Which, by the way, I felt like when I was growing up, I would stop Oops after... like maybe Can't Make You Love Me.
Okay.
But I think that everything but Dear Diary I could vouch for these days.
Okay.
You know?
Everything? I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'm like, absolutely not.
I don't think there is. For me, at least. Like, When Your Eyes Say It, I think is actually lovely.
Okay.
It took me a minute to get into it. But it's a very pretty song.
All right, guys, we're doing a deep dive here.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second. Obviously, these openers. But, like, I need to
Stronger, Don't Go Knocking on My Door. I can't get no satisfaction has never thrilled me.
I like it. I like it that it reminds me of the VMA performance.
I can't say that like covers ever like overly thrill me, really, when pop stars do it.
What about when Mariah covers things?
Those are different because those don't feel like classic rock standards. Like she'll always do like a cover of something that's like, oh, I've never heard this before.
Did you not like her I Love Rock and Roll?
It's fine. It does nothing for me.
And that video, gosh, she looks great.
Don't let me be the last to know.
Classic.
See what you see is what you get. Lucky
Classic.
You, One Kiss from You. Where Are You Now? Can't Make You Love Me when you're okay. Yeah.
Which one's Where Are You Now?
Guys, which one's Where Are You Now?
Oh, I would play it, but now I'm scared that we're gonna get blocked again, we did for that one time.
It's not that important, guys.
Dear Diary today. I saw a boy. I wonder if he noticed me. He took my breath away. Grace, you're a Britney stan, and we all should just admit it. And yes, that song is bad. But only one bad song in that whole album. Are you going to mention Celine? I mean, if I remember to, it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Okay, should we get started?
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right. Hello.
Hello.
We're back. We're here. We're here on a holiday weekend because, again, we take our jobs very seriously. And I don't think that people know that, but...
I take my job so seriously that I work over a holiday weekend.
You do? Do you work tomorrow, too?
I sure do. Memorial Day is always the worst day to work at a burger restaurant.
Is it like the worst day, do you think, of the whole year?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Memorial Day, Labor Day is second place.
Are people not in good moods, though? Because they're, like, off work and, like...
It's because everyone is in a burger mood. That's
I
the problem.
see.
And everything is just crazy and chaotic and nuts. And I just suffer. Guys, my poor feet.
So are you saying that of your 2 jobs, that this is the easier one this week?
I guess. I would say my easiest one would just be like the residuals I get from writing.
Well, that's
that's the easiest income that I get.
That's true.
All year.
Because you've already done all that work.
I've already done all that work.
I know, but there's more work to be
done.
done
And I'm just
here.
raking in those tens of dollars.
Hey, that's why those writers are on strike. Well, I guess that's not what you do.
It's a different
whatever. Do you want to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Two Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And goodbye, May. Hello to my birthday month. June is coming up.
It is still May as we're recording this and the day we release it.
Yeah. But like everyone knows what's just around the river bend.
It is.
And that is June.
I know. Is it already officially Gemini season?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're most in your moon or whatever.
I always feel like I'm in my moon. I never
good.
feel like I'm not in my moon.
I think that's great.
I don't know what that means.
I don't
but like
either.
I can't unless I've just always never been in my moon and this is just normal to me. And then one day, when everything is right in the world with me, then I'll actually be in my moon and then I'll feel much better about myself. But I feel good about myself now.
That's great. Well, I'm excited for your birthday. Do you have a plan of what the movie is going to be that you're going to invite us all over to watch this year?
I have no plans whatsoever. I won't have a plan until June 18th, the day before.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be there on the actual day, no matter what day of the week it is.
It's a Monday.
Oh, great. So I will see you then.
Thank you.
Matt Steele.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was good. It was very fun. I just worked. I went to a birthday party Tuesday. I celebrated my friend Arthur's birthday, and so had a whole Mexican feast with him and everything.
Great.
It was nice to see all of those friends. And had a meeting with my manager. I got a new commercial agent.
Ooh.
So that's exciting.
Can't wait to see you all over the Super Bowl commercials.
Selling those Skittles.
Yes.
We were talking, me and my manager were like, what do you think you could sell? And first thing that came to my head was just like, pack of Skittles. I feel like I could be in a Skittles commercial.
Why do you think Skittles specifically? It's like the rainbow of it all being like kind of gay.
No, because I'm fun. I was talking in the live chat earlier about how much I love fruit, and Skittles are like very fruity.
Yes.
And so I should be the spokesperson for fruity things.
Okay.
Therefore, Skittles, hire me. I will be the Skittles man.
Well, they had just hired Maya Rudolph to be the M&M's lady, so you could like play off of her.
And
in
that
Skittles
could be a
world.
huge rivalry between me and Maya Rudolph.
Oh, I was going to say it would be a beautiful crossover, but I didn't know you guys were you'd rather be rivals.
It's more fun to have an enemy.
Okay, great.
So therefore, I'm going to do that. So Maya Rudolph is now my enemy.
Oh no, I like her.
Well, pick a side, bitch.
I hate that I have to pick a side. This is like Vanderpump Rules all over again.
What do you mean you have to pick a side? Look, you're not automatically like picking
No,
my
I
side.
like Maya Rudolph.
You have to think about it.
I mean, her mom who was the singer who sang in Whistle Tones before Mariah? Minnie Riperton. That's cool.
Yeah, but my mom's cool.
Your mom is very
Linda
cool.
Steele does amazing things.
Absolutely, she does.
So why can't you just automatically be on my side?
I'll get back to you. I can't. I don't want to lay my allegiances down yet. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, this is hurtful. What did you do this week?
What did I do this week? I mean, a lot of the week I was still recovering from my being under the weather, and so it was kind of a low-key week. Also, like, something that we don't discuss enough is when you take a vacation of any amount of time, that's not like a day or two, and you come back and you open up your work emails. And of course, there's like 12 5-alarm fires, and like there's just so much shit going on and like all these new deadlines. So it was very much like, you know me, I'm very much like, oh, I turn the day job on, I turn the day job off. And I just go on my walks, we do 2K mats, I make music. But it was like, so I was thinking about it after work, and there's nothing I hate more than thinking about my day job when I'm not at the job. But I feel like since I was gone, it just, things have ramped up, and I just, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I got to get a lot done. I got to support our developers and be the best product manager I can be. And that's taking up more brain space than it usually does for me.
See, you're very different from me because I actually love like emails about stuff. Like I love emails that have to do with like work in some sort of way because I'm like, ooh, like something productive maybe is happening.
No, I mean, if it were an email about, 2K Mats or an email about like my music, which I did get a good email about my music, which I can't talk about just yet. But if that would be one thing. But when it's about like, oh, day job, this client needs XYZ and you need to be on it, and like these are your new, it's like I'm overwhelmed. It's too much for me. I'll see you tomorrow. I want to close the computer down, and I can't. Outside of that, I've been enjoying the weekend. It's been lovely. I was saying before the podcast started that I went to our friend Joe and Tim's house today. This morning, we had a lovely brunch and played some video games, and I had a couple of drinks. We brought them some souvenirs from Costa Rica, including an alcohol called cacique, which is a Costa Rican liquor, and so we made little cocktails with those, and we can walk there and walk back, so I could get as tipsy as I wanted, and then now I'm in front of the mic, a little tipsy, not really tipsy, but I've had a drink or two, so maybe I'll be a little more loose-lipped. I'll say things.
Have you had a
drink?
You're talking a mile a minute now.
I mean, I have a lot to say. I have more to say, darling.
Guys, in 5 minutes he's gonna be passed out.
That is not. Matt Steele thinks if I have literally a sip of alcohol that I will fall asleep immediately, and that's not the case.
You're just gonna hear. His head hitting the
Imagine
microphone.
that? What if I did that? If I came on this podcast so drunk that I fell asleep?
It would be iconic.
I would never do it.
Imagine the vamping I would have to do because I wouldn't be able to turn the podcast off because I don't know how to. I don't know what button to push. I'd be searching everywhere for stop live stream.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, one very funny thing that happened that I've told the Discord folks about, but I have not told the podcast at large, is yesterday I was walking on the street doing a walk with my friend Janie, who you've probably heard of, seen before. She's been on the podcast several times. And we walked and stopped at a stoplight, and there was this guy, kind of burly man in an SUV with who I assume is his girlfriend in his passenger seat, looked over at us, and he yells at us, and he says, "Too gay." And I was like, oh my, I'm too gay? What did I do? And like,
girl, what didn't you do to be too gay?
You know I'm subtle, and people never can clock me. And so at first I was like nervous because I was like, I don't know what this is. Am I being hate crimed in broad daylight? But then I looked at his face, and it was a warmer face than a hate crimer would have. And so he kind of was like more looking inquisitively, and I was like, Mats? And he was like, yeah, too gay Mats. Like, I love you guys. Keep up the great work. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
So hello, sir, out there.
Yes, sir, or at least your girlfriend's probably listening. Thank you so much for saying too gay to be on the street. It was a shock, but then it was kind.
I don't understand why you think it was his girlfriend. Maybe it was his best friend.
It could have been. Maybe, I cannot judge someone's sexuality from their car while I'm on the street, but it did feel like a hate crime initially, and usually that I don't feel from a fellow queer person.
Yeah, because when he like texted us in the Discord, he was just like, this straight guy like stopped me, and he describes him, and I'm just like, girl, that sounds like every guy I've ever dated.
Which is also what I said was that's the problem. I think the 2023 challenge would be like, Matt Steele date a gay man, which would be a nice.
But this guy could have been gay.
I don't think so.
He could have been.
I don't think so.
Well, sir, if you're out there, I'm single. I don't know.
No, don't try to date this straight guy in the car.
Listen, these are desperate times, okay? If a random guy in a car who I've never seen before wants to date me, I'm available.
I want you to date like a Chris Colfer type. Like someone who's like very plainly gay. No shade to Chris Colfer. We are also plainly gay.
I'll date Chris Colfer. Like, listen.
Great author. He's an author now.
I know, yeah. And also, I believe he directed a movie at some point.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what it was called, but it was one of the movies that me and Ryan, the director of Devos, watched to like prepare ourselves for give ourselves ideas for like Devos. Because we were just watching a bunch of teen comedies and everything. Oh, what was it called? It was something about like being struck by lightning. Oh. I totally forget what it was called, but it was really cute and really fun and really well done. I don't know if he directed it or if he just wrote it. I know he at least wrote it.
I remember he was on like a tour promoting that movie.
Okay.
And I don't remember what his part in that. Struck by Lightning was what it was called.
Struck by Lightning.
And great. I'm glad it was a good movie. And then you guys could connect over your film, aspirations and histories. Chris Colfer, Matt Steele, the new ship.
Then we can collaborate and like become like a directing team and become the new Daniels, and we'll make a gay Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's what the world needs.
Yeah.
I hope I get a part in it.
Oh, we'll see.
Great. Love that I always have to audition. Should we jump into the news for radio?
Sure, why not?
So the people are talking about Halle Bailey and Little Mermaid because it made a whole bunch of fucking money over the weekend. It has dominated the Memorial Day box office with a 118 million debut. It was the fifth, I think, biggest Memorial Day box office in the U.S., and I think that's very exciting. I think internationally it may not be living up to expectations, but also there's been a lot of review bombing of, racists and other people who hate on Halle Bailey because she is more talented and more beautiful than they will ever be. But let's focus on the positives. And the positives are that this movie is doing well. And I feel like everyone who's seen it has been highlighting what a great job she does.
Oh yeah, she's universally getting praise.
Which I love that so much. Because the thing is, I had my reservations, and I still haven't seen it. I'm going to probably see it in the upcoming week. I was trying to see it today, but they didn't have enough seats for all four of us to sit together, and I didn't want us to sit apart. So I'm going to be seeing it soon, and just because I want Halle Bailey to have a good moment with this. Like, we can't have the black princess. Like, I don't want the racists to win. And I'd like to see her perform and do a beautiful job, of course, but I also want to make racists mad. And by doing that, by supporting a young black Ariel, I'll be making those racists mad, and that makes me happy.
I mean, good for you. It's good to have a goal.
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled for her. She's really having a moment. Like you can tell that spoiler alert, we'll talk about The Color Purple later. But when The Color Purple trailer came out, they were very smartly like, we have to release this the week of The Little Mermaid coming out. And we have to feature Halle Bailey a lot.
I was going to say, because her part in The Color Purple is not half the movie, right? Because
absolutely not.
That trailer made me think it was.
I will say, like, her character though is the inciting incident.
Okay.
And so in order to get like exposition for the trailer, it does make sense to have her featured quite a bit. Also, it obviously makes sense because she's having such a huge moment right now. She is on everyone's mind. So of course, put her all over that first Color Purple trailer.
Why wouldn't you?
Good for everyone involved. Good for her. I am thrilled. I mean, I hear the movie is just delightful. It's getting like the best reviews of any of the live action remakes, right? Like I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes numbers are exactly for like the Jungle Book and Cinderella and like those ones, but I hear it's doing well, like critically, and congratulations to everybody.
Honestly, congratulations to all involved, especially Halle Bailey, who I love endlessly.
And Jacob Tremblay, who is the king of acting.
You do love Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay is so fucking brilliant in everything he does.
Well, congratulations to him, to you, to everybody there. I assume you are going to wait until a later part of the podcast to talk about the Color Purple trailer?
Yes, I will.
Okay, well, let's talk about another debut that's occurred this week. At the Cannes Film Festival, The Weeknd and Sam Levinson's new show, The Idol, premiered at Cannes, and I guess people stood up, gave them quite an ovation for a few minutes, but unfortunately, it has debuted with a pretty low score on Rotten Tomatoes. When the article I'm looking at was written, it was at 9%, but I believe I looked again before we started the podcast, and it was up to like about 23%.
Okay.
But it has been described as worse than people thought in a Pornhub homepage odyssey. And I am not one to celebrate anything's not being received well. But we all know The Weeknd's not my personal favorite, and that the little clips we've seen of this, the trailer we saw of this show, gave me more questions than answers.
Okay.
I'm like, what is the reason? Like, do we need this dark take? Like, what I will say I loved the Give Me More remix that was played during that trailer. But all signs are pointing to me passing on watching this.
I hear of the things that like are featured, because I have not seen the trailer and I have not seen the show. The things I hear are in it sound a little much, not quite things that your eyes would enjoy seeing. I'm okay when it comes to like graphic stuff, but there are some times where I'm just like, oh, there was one movie that came out last year that I will not reference. There were many moments where I was just like, oh, we're doing this.
Oh my.
Like, what? And so the hearing about what The Idol is like from other people, from word of mouth, it sounds like it could be going down that route. And so I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if I really need to see it.
Right.
I wish everyone the best.
And the thing is, I am a Euphoria fan. Like, I'm excited for that to come back in like 2025. I think they've announced they're planning for that.
Sam Levinson. Sam Levinson also adapted the Tick, Tick, Boom movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, he did.
I didn't know.
I will always sing his praises about his work for that.
All right. So, yes, this is a man who clearly has a lot of talent, but I don't know that this upcoming show is going to be for me. I also thought this quote from The Weeknd discussing this made me laugh. It was in W Magazine. And he said it was difficult to switch from music to acting, and he simply lost his voice after a concert. He explained, my theory is that I forgot how to sing because I was playing Tedros, a character who doesn't know how to sing. I may be looking too deeply into this, but it was terrifying. As The Weeknd, I've never skipped a concert. I've performed with the flu. I'll die on that stage. But that was something very complicated going on with my mind at the moment.
Yeah, Abel, I think you are looking too deep into this. I don't know if that's possible.
No.
I love it when singers like act once and they're just like, my life has changed.
Like, everything's different. It took over my life. I'll never be the same. And it's like,
and fucking Judi Dench just shows up wherever. And she's just like, oh yeah, I did this role. It was whatever.
That's the thing. Sometimes I feel like the world's best actors are like, well, yeah, I'm going to work. I'm going to do the job as well as I can. And then the cameras go off and I go home and I am myself.
And they're like,
everything's fine.
It's just acting. It's fine. It's like, you ever see like the interview with from, oh God, what's the movie? Isabelle Huppert.
Okay.
When she was in Elle, the movie Elle, and she was being interviewed, and the interviewer, she was at the round table, and the interviewer was like, do you think there's ever been a role that like really like changed you, that like made it hard to get out of it, or something like along those lines? And you could tell the interviewer wanted the actresses to be like, oh yes, I got so deep into this role, it took me months to get out of it and everything. And Isabelle Huppert just went, no. It's hilarious. And it's like, yes, and she's one of the greatest actresses ever.
And I love knowing that you as an actor are like that. Like, I can't imagine if for the months that you were filming Devos, like you decided to be Ricky Redmond for those times, for that amount of time.
Like there were a million things going on in my head while I was on set. It's like, I can't do the whole method thing. It's like I'm concentrating on so much. And also, I mean, the thing with that is like, I wrote the role. And so I knew how I wanted to do it for, years of my life. So it was already very much in my body. So it was just like, I was off, painting something and they were like, Matt, I need you. And so I would come on and they'd be like, action. And I'd just go, blah, 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 and scream for a couple minutes. And then they'd be like, okay, great, cut. And then I'd go off.
I mean, you wore a lot of hats on that film set. Let's be
serious. Sure did. I was remixing pop music, baby.
And doing a great job of it.
I really did.
That's the thing. You can do so much. And I hope that Abel, I don't know how to say his name, feels he can do a lot too. And that he doesn't have to forget how to sing to do his job as an actor.
You don't have to forget how to sing.
You don't. You really don't. But speaking of trailers making waves this week, the full Barbie trailer has been released. And I must say, it looks excellent.
Oh, it looks so great. And I love how this trailer showed like, the plot is them going into the real world as these like characters. And so it's like much more meta than the first trailer like made it seem. So that sounds very exciting and fun. And I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a huge hit.
And we're only, I thought it was June. No, it was July. We're not that far out from it, which I appreciate. And I think it's just exciting for me because, I'm not a film person. But the fact that I have Little Mermaid this month and then Barbie coming up so soon thereafter of like movies that I'm very excited about seeing, I don't know. Maybe I love cinema.
Look at you, a franchise Franny over here.
That's me. Well, is Barbie going to be a franchise?
I mean, it's Mattel.
It's Barbie. Mattel, yes, but I didn't know if the film.
I don't think it'll be like a film franchise, but it's definitely commenting on the franchise-ness of Barbie and that kind of stuff, which is very fun.
I get it. I do think that Ryan Gosling is going to get nominated. Oops. Started playing the show. It's going to get nominated for something.
I mean, it would be so cool if he got a lot of buzz for supporting actor. He's getting the best reviews out of anyone in the movie, and people are like, he's so good in it. So I would love to see that performance gets. I always love it when a comedic performance gets a lot of Oscar buzz. Could he be the next Marissa Tomei?
I would love that
for My Cousin Vinny. I mean, and even Jamie Lee Curtis just literally won last year for like her overtly comedic performance. So I love watching comedic performances shine.
I love that moment in the trailer when they are getting booked they've gotten arrested and are getting booked or whatever, and Margot Robbie as Barbie is very upset and like he's like very much cheesing. It's
amazing,
like, so fucking funny.
So funny.
I liked the first trailer a good bit, but I thought this was quite the improvement. I can't wait to see the movie. And the soundtrack was announced as well. I think more of the tracks were announced than not. Apparently people appearing on the record are Dua Lipa. She has the single. We just reacted to that on our YouTube channel. Tame Impala, Nicki Minaj featuring Aqua. There's a Barbie girl updated version that Nicki is doing with the Aqua sample, which I appreciate because I felt like there was much ado made about like this movie is not going to have that song in it, but it was like, well, we have a twist on it, which I appreciate. Ava Max, Haim, Pink Panthers, and Ryan Gosling himself. There's just a lot of people on the soundtrack. I think it's going to be really great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They knew exactly what the people wanted from this, and they're giving it to them.
I think it should. I mean, I wonder why. And we don't have that many men, but there's like a few more than I would like for like a Barbie movie. For me, that feels like let's get all the ladies in there. But there are a lot of ladies: Charlie XCX, Gail, Ice Spice. Taylor Swift's best friends.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that this is coming up for people. I just need to speak just quickly. I won't make every week until the end of the season about Vanderpump Rules, but I just have to say, Part 1 of the reunion was excellent. Ariana did a great job. Raquel is watching the reunion from a trailer 100 feet away because she's currently, at this point, has the restraining order against Sheena. So Sheena starts on stage with everybody. Raquel is watching this, like, literally it's like she's watching people in the Thunderdome, this man she is with currently, get berated, and she's looking at it like she's watching Animaniacs. Like, she's got the biggest smile on her face. She's like, ooh, that's crazy. It's like, Raquel, what is... I don't know if she's a sociopath, if she just doesn't get the gravity of it, but it's wild. And I also very much appreciate that, obviously this has become such a big thing, that the normal edited version is airing on Bravo the night of the reunions, and then the next day on Peacock there's an extended version that's completely uncensored, which I think they should do for every reality show.
Yeah,
because it's like having those curse words in there and not bleeped out really does make a difference, because you really feel the anger. The funniest part for me of the whole reunion was right at the beginning. They cut to Sandoval, and Andy's like, okay, Sandoval, before we get started, do you have anything you want to say just about this scandal and how things have been going for you? And he's like, I just have to say, and like he's clearly crying one way or another, and everyone on stage yells at him and is like, you need to fucking stop crying, you're not the victim here, the sad sack actor's like, oh shit, this is not gonna go great for you. And then he immediately turns the tears off, and it's like, you're a bad actor, but you're broken inside.
Oh my God.
I know.
Ask him to sing something. Do you think like he was acting so much that he lost his singing voice too?
I bet he did.
Isn't he in a band?
He is. He's in Tom Sandoval and the Most. It's a cover band, so it's not a real band.
Okay, but you still need to sing. Just to sing some covers.
Don't worry, he sings poorly.
Okay. Maybe he's just spent so long like acting, maybe showing his not real self on Vanderpump Rules,
right,
that he lost his original ability to sing that he had when he was younger.
I think he's 0 for 2 on abilities.
Okay.
I do, I must say. But going from my favorite reality show to yours, apparently CBS has pushed back Big Brother because of the writer's strike, and they want it to be a part of their fall lineup. It's going to be debuting in August. How are you and the Big Brother fans feeling about this change?
We're okay. We know that at least it's happening. I mean, it kind of works out for me because like I'm going to be in Jersey for a period of July, like directing something. So I was kind of worried it's going to be, I was like, oh, I'm going to miss like week 3 of Big Brother and I'll have to catch up and everything. So I won't have to do that then.
That's good.
We're not, it's just because the show is such a summer show. Like it's such a summer aesthetic.
Right.
And so we're kind of bummed about that. We feel like it won't be the same in like Big Brother All-Stars 2, which happened in 2020, the COVID year. That was pushed back. That started like middle of August.
Okay.
And so that just like didn't have the same feel to it.
Right.
But you know, you got to do what you got to do. I understand it. At least the show's happening. I think the thing that most fans are a little worried about is they pushed it back to 99 days, which like the past couple seasons, it was just like 80 something days, which was so much better because it didn't like tire out like as quickly and everything. Because by the end of the season, you're just like, girl, I am done.
Yeah, like that's enough.
But they extended it to 99 days, I guess, to fill out even more fall time slots that, you know, they're trying to fill and everything. So it makes sense to them. We're not the most thrilled, but like you got to do what you got to do. At least it's happening.
That's good.
All I want is just messy people. Just put the messy people in the house.
Do you think that since it's going to be pushed back until August, that there's still a chance that you could be on it?
Absolutely not. They do not want my ass at all.
Why?
I don't know. But I'm still making an audition video next year.
I should become one of the casting directors and then be like, oh, this young upstart that I don't know, I've never met, should definitely be on the show.
We would have to delete our entire channel so there's no proof.
Or guys, you just don't tell.
Yeah, totally. The Big Brother fans find everything, okay? They would absolutely find everything about you, everything about me, everything about everyone you've ever known in your entire life.
But by the time you get in the house, hopefully, that's when they start finding the things. Like, oh, well, he's in the house now, can't do anything about it.
Oh no, but that's when they get even angrier.
Really?
Because they're angry that you are in the house, and so they spend all the weeks you're in the house trying to figure out how will we destroy his life to the best of our abilities when he comes out.
Well, we don't want that for you.
But you know what? Even if I get on Big Brother and everybody hates me and they destroy my life, at least I got on Big Brother.
That's true. You got to think of the positive. You know, those silver linings are always there. Olivia Rodrigo is continuing to hint about new music. She shared a photo on her Instagram with the date of June 30th, hearted. So that's supposedly going to be the beginning of her new era. Everyone stay tuned. Miley Cyrus has announced in some magazine that she can't do another arena tour because she finds it so isolating. Like singing for hundreds of thousands of people isn't really the thing that I love. There's no connection. There's no safety. It's also not natural. It's so isolating because if you're in front of 100,000 people, then you are alone. She feels like going on these kind of arena tours, she has to live out of like a locker and things. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like she got a little bit of pushback about this because it's like, okay, we're not going to feel bad about, you being able to do an arena tour. But also for me, it's like, if you don't want to be a touring artist, you don't have to be a touring
artist. Then don't do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
She's a great performer. And, but if that's not what she wants to be doing, then that's not what she's going to be doing.
I find that very interesting, though, that she's like, oh, it feels so like unsafe to be like in a tour and everything. To me, like, I would prefer to do like a big arena tour. I would feel more confident doing a big arena tour than an intimate thing, because like when you're doing an intimate thing and you're singing, like people are right there and they will see all the flaws and everything. But an arena tour, it's like there's so much going on and you're, you know, an inch tall in their vision. And so like you mess up a couple moves, no one notices.
Right.
I mean, Beyonce wouldn't know because she's never messed up a move in her life.
I know. Imagine Beyonce messing up.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not afraid of any tour, big tour, small tour, anything, but we're going to do the big.
Of course they are.
So yeah, I just think that's interesting, but she doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do.
She really doesn't. There's a rumor that Katy Perry wants to quit American Idol because she feels like she's getting a bad edit. She feels thrown under the bus by producers who she feels have edited the show to make her to appear to be the nasty judge. I haven't really been watching at all, but is that the case? Do you think she is supposed to be the Simon Cowell of the show? I mean, I guess if it's Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan up there with her, she would be the one that's the most outspoken.
Sure.
But also, Katie, you're making so much money and no one's really watching the show.
So exactly. Like the show isn't what it was. And I know that, especially since it went to ABC, the show is not about highlighting the bad people. It's not about, because when the show started, this was in an era when it was like, let's be as nasty on reality TV as we possibly can.
Totally.
And it was great. But we are very
now.
much not in that era now. And so American Idol is very much more of a positive thing.
Totally.
They put more of a positive spin on things now. So I mean, you know, if she feels like, girl, you can quit if you want. You can do what you want.
I think that's the theme of the episode. Just do what you want.
Just do what you want.
I'm not going to be pushing back against you because you want to quit a show that I'm not watching. Okay, Nelly Furtado has announced her comeback single "Eat Your Man" with Dom Dalla. It is up for pre-order now, and it will be dropping Friday, June 2nd. I think this is so exciting because you know how I feel about Nelly Furtado in general, especially the album "Loose" that Timbaland produced. She also, I feel like, her songs still go viral on TikTok every 5 minutes. So the fact that she is coming back in to the limelight is an exciting moment for me. I always want our queens from the mid-aughts to have great comeback moments. I hope this single is excellent. I just feel like Nelly has done great stuff, and lest we forget. You know what I mean? I don't want her to be forgotten to time, and the fact that the Gen Z kids are finding her and putting her music in their TikToks makes me really happy because now we get new music.
I will say that Nelly Furtado is very much a blind spot for me.
Oh, really?
I know virtually nothing.
You don't know the Loose album? You don't know Man-Eater? Promiscuous Girl, I'm sure.
Promiscuous Girl, I know.
Yes.
But yeah, like her big songs, obviously I was a teenager. I grew up listening to this stuff. But I can't say I know much about her like beyond like her hits. And even if you like were to name her hits, I wouldn't exactly place like, oh, that's Nelly Furtado.
Right.
You know? And so I'm thrilled for her. When was the last time she put out something?
The last time I can think of is she put out a single called Big Hoops. I want to say like 2013, I want to say.
Oh, so it's been a while.
It's been a long time. She actually had another song that I would need to look up during the break that I did like from that era. Big Hoops I did not like. But it's been a long time. So this is definitely a major comeback. But that Loose, if you're starting with Nelly Furtado, if you're not familiar with her work, listen to the earlier singles too. If you want to listen to I'm Like a Bird and Try. And like she has a lot of great stuff in those first two albums. But then her turn to like pop electronic music. She was kind of like a contemporary of Fergie and Gwen Stefani at the time she released Loose. I would recommend that record a lot. It was the precursor to Future Sex Love Sounds, big album from Justin Timberlake. And Timbaland just had, a great eye on what was happening in pop music at that very moment. And that album is excellent. Even all of its like crazy bonus tracks are excellent. It's like with all the bonus tracks, it's like 20, 21 tracks. I'm like, I like most of these.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really solid. So love that. And I just need to shout out the fact that Britney Spears, I feel like people are always bringing up to us her like worrying Instagram posts or whatever. And I am kind of disconnected from that narrative because I'm like, she's free now. She can post weird things if she wants. But I just must say, Britney Spears talking about reuniting with her mom after 3 years is so incredibly heartwarming. She says, my sweet mama showed up at my doorstep yesterday after 3 years. It's been such a long time with family. There's always things that need to be worked out, but time heals all wounds. And it's like, I love that because I don't believe Lynn has ill will for Britney in any way. And the fact that she's rebuilding this relationship with the woman who raised her and loved her even though she's been through all this stuff with her dad, I feel like Lynn kind of got thrown under the bus with that. Like, it was very much like all of my family is XYZ. But Lynn, the fact that she was making that effort to reconnect with her daughter and that she was welcomed in like with open arms and got to meet Sam, like it just is exciting for me to see Brittany having a happy turn of events.
Yes.
Because a lot of people always try to highlight the negative with her. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's especially important for Brittany, you know, because I imagine Brittany, like, still, you know, she hasn't connected with her family in so long. And, you know, if you were someone who was close with your family and you're no longer close, like there's probably a part of you that feels so isolated and like alone because your family is so important to you and integral to, like, you know, literally your DNA. And so, and you know me, I'm all about like forgiveness, ironing out what needs to be ironed out if you can, at least trying, because I mean, you know, family is important and it always breaks my heart to see like family estranged in any sort of way. So I mean, good for Brittany, good for Lynn, good for all the mothers of the world. Happy Mother's Day. Goodbye, May.
Goodbye, May. But we want to give one last Happy Mother's Day to Brittany's mom. The HBO drama chief on the WGA strike is giving new updates on when a couple of their shows are going to be returning, and it looks like we're talking years down the road. Like Last of Us, they're saying will return in 2025. The White Lotus was ideally looking to return in 2024, but there's some question about timing because of the strike. And also, there was a 2.5-year gap between season 1 and season 2 of Euphoria, and fans are going to have to wait even longer for season 3 because of the strike. I just think we are getting to the point now that like the strike is really going to be impacting a lot of our viewing schedules. You know, ideally we would have liked this to have been wrapped up by now and for an agreement to have been reached, but those executives have got to bend a little bit because I don't want to wait until 2029 for the next White Lotus season. Like, what about me?
What about you?
What about me?
We'll still be young in 2029, so don't worry. But for the TV watchers out there, that is very stressful. And like,
I saw ABC release like their like writer strike proof fall schedule, and it was just like The Bachelor, followed by The Golden Bachelor, which is like The Bachelor, but for elderly people. And I'm like, these aren't shows. Like, I get it. Like, I watched The Bachelor for a very long time, but you releasing this as if you're like, don't worry, we got you. Great content coming up. And it's like, so we're just not going to see Abbott Elementary until y'all figure this out? Like, I don't want that.
I mean, I would. You know, I love an offshoot Big Brother moment, though. Like, Big Brother Season 9, which happened during the writer's strike back in 2008.
Yes.
And then Big Brother Over the Top, which happened in fall of 2016. Like, the offshoot Big Brothers are always madness. And so I would love, like, maybe one extra offshoot Big Brother season, just because they're always such gold mines.
I mean,
so that would be, like, a little fun for me.
I mean, and maybe since Vanderpump is as big as it's ever been, we'll get 2 seasons a year or something.
Yeah.
And that would really be something. Just have cameras on these people all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Because we got to see how this plays out. But I would like some scripted content again at some point because Succession ends as we speak. And I don't know. I feel like we're going to be running out of shows that people wrote on. So pay the writers what they're worth.
Yeah. And I do wonder, though, if like SAG strikes and the Directors Guild strikes, like if that will put much more immediate pressure on these, you know, like networks and everything.
It seems like yes. It seems like yes. We also just want to give a shout out to Tina Turner, who passed away this week. She passed away at 83. Her career spanned decades, garnered critical acclaim and #1 hits. She passed away in her home in Switzerland. She was twice inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I assume as a part of her duo with her previous husband and by herself. She has sold over 100 million records worldwide, 12 Grammys. I just am so saddened by this. Obviously, she was before our time, but like the fact that so many artists these days, namely Beyonce, credit her so much with what like inspired their performance style. And you can see it when they do tributes to her. You see performances of Tina Turner. I need to watch What's Love Got to Do with It. Like, I just want to know about her because she, being like the queen of rock and roll, like reading articles about how she's like, I had to restart my career as a solo Black artist in my 40s. And like, who knew how that was going to happen? And she really fucking did it.
And she really just ushered in my favorite type of like performance style, which was just like, you watch as an audience member and you're just like, how are your bones not falling off?
Exactly.
Like, you are going and going. You are a million bolts of lightning and there is no stopping. And I don't know how anyone can physically do this. Like, she was just like performance like personified.
She was a force.
Yes.
Did you see that video of when she came out for Oprah? And, like, Oprah had some special show and her favorite person in the world is Tina Turner. And Tina Turner came out and performed for her. And it's like, if Oprah is going that fucking crazy over you, like, you are just that bitch.
Oh,
like, period.
I love the videos where Oprah's going crazy over someone. It's like
great.
it's the Tina Turner one, and then it's like when you asked Oprah who her television idol was, and she was like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yes.
And the video where she meets Mary Tyler Moore, and she goes nuts, like adore, like like when Oprah is your biggest fan, you done it.
You really did.
You really did it.
And also want to give a shout out to Celine Dion, who I believe this week announced that she is essentially retired. She will not be performing anymore. I think her illness is progressing in a scary way. So sending all love and light out to her, because what a talented person and someone with such a good heart and that has shared so much with the world, an incredible vocalist. And I don't know. I just want her to be safe and happy, which is what we want for all our
And who also put on a goddamn great show.
I mean,
Who
hello.
was just like opulence personified. Like, let's have all the special effects. Like, let's give audiences something to be thrilled about.
Right.
So, two amazing women.
Two amazing performers that we send all our love to. Matt Steele, is there anything else you'd like to tell the people?
I don't
before we
think
take
so.
a quick little break. All right. Well, we'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Yay. Ooh, lap it, lap it.
Oh, lap it. Thank you.
Whew,
so much. Ooh, that was close.
That was close.
Oh, the laps too. Whatever. The laps are weirder than I wanted them to be, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Rest in peace, Miss Tina. Absolutely. Hollywood already lost so much money during COVID. It's so stupid to keep this going. Just pay the writers and everyone get back to work. You've never seen What's Love Got to Do with It, Palmer. I'm honestly gagging. I mean, honestly, I didn't watch many movies until Mean Girls, guys. So I need to get on it, and I will. I will.
Private Dancer era was the greatest comeback ever. Yeah, I know Emancipation is right up there, of course, but Private Dancer was everything.
I was just listening to Private Dancer at the gym the other day because I was like, there are many Tina Turner songs that come to mind, but for some reason, Private Dancer. Dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. Classic. Classic. Oh, thank you, Eric Gonzalez, our friend. Beautiful broadcast gentleman. Protect our legends. Yes. It's true. We must. We must. We must.
I watched her live in Barcelona special the other night and sobbed.
Oh. Some of the quotes you would read of Tina when she's just like, how she's like, I never felt real love. And like, I feel like I've given so much to the world. And like, I have not felt the love. It's just like, she deserves everything. And there's one interview clip that I've seen circulating where an interviewer, she's like looking out on her like grand expanse of an estate in Europe, wherever she was. And the interviewer has the balls to say, you think you deserve all this? And, you know, without skipping a beat, is like, I deserve more. And it's like, yes, you do.
Yes.
And that's how we all need to feel about ourselves.
It's like when they asked Mariah Carey, like, who's worthy to sing at your wedding? And she was like, fucking nobody.
Because it's true. Because it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's a good movie, but also a tough watch. Yes,
Yeah.
I know it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I've seen What's Love Got to Do with It when I was a kid. I can't say like I watched it ever like as an adult or like as a teenager where I like really, really hardcore paid attention to it. But I really should because Angela Bassett's great and everything. So
amazing. Tina was progressive on sex work before everyone. Honestly, it's true. Yes, Emancipation to Mimi and Private Dancer are two of the best comeback eras ever. I've never seen anyone recover from a sabotage like Mariah's, but Tina's is inspiring. Absolutely.
what happens to the writers during the strike? Can they do other writing work, just not on TV movies? I believe they just can't do any other WGA work.
Right.
So
but even on TV and movies, if you're in the WGA, you should not be writing.
And I wonder though if like they are able to do if like any of them are like copywriters or like write
I wonder that
articles
too.
and
It
stuff
seems like yes,
Sure.
I would imagine it's like you're using your skills, but not to the film industry that's not paying.
Yeah,
you
because it's like a separate job, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though there is writing involved, it's not a WGA job.
Exactly.
So yeah. And a lot of those, I mean, a lot of writers have those types of jobs, like
Right.
survival jobs in general. So.
I mean, hopefully they won't. As fewer people will need it after the strike.
Yeah.
Hopefully, once their Netflix starts paying residuals, people won't always need to be working in a room and also have a survival job.
Well, because like that's like what they're really fighting for is like to make these jobs that they have not just like gig jobs,
Yes.
to just like really allow for positions that have some sort of stability, like where you're contracted with a show for a long period of time, as opposed to just like you write for a season and then like maybe not anymore. Like,
Right.
before her comeback, she agreed to do a residency here for like $100, $200 a night, and then blew up and got massive, but still stuck to the agreement and did the residency here.
Good for
That's
her.
amazing.
Didn't that happen to Elvis? Oh, I guess did he ever have He had to come back too. I felt like that was the storyline in the Elvis movie.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
had to come back. There was like he like joined the army. He was like huge and like rock and roll, and then he joined the army, and then he came back and did mostly like very like watered down, family friendly like films and everything. And then sort of had a musical comeback like later in his life and everything. Look at you knowing. You didn't even watch that movie.
I didn't, but it just, I felt it.
You felt it through the walls.
Through
Jackson
the walls.
was watching it when we were podcasting at some point.
I love that.
Yeah.
We got some emails this week, didn't we?
We did. We got a bunch. We can do, I'd say 3.
3? Okay, great.
I'd say we can do 3.
Comic book writers are worried because a lot of TV writers invade their space during these strikes. Oh, I could see that.
Interesting.
I could see that.
Okay. Well, I wish everyone the best.
I know. And if you just pay the frickin' TV writers, then this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
We are back. It's true.
Matt Palmer, sell the product.
Yes, I just want you to know if you're listening to this podcast, we're so happy that you are. And if you could give us a nice 5-star rating or review in your Apple Podcast app or your Spotify app where you can leave star ratings these days, it would help us so much. It helps us with the algorithm. We want this podcast to reach as many ears as possible. So leave us a 5-star review. If you have less than 5 stars to leave, just leave it to yourself. Like write yourself a note and don't share it. But if you have a 5-star review to leave it publicly. We'd love that. Tell your friends to listen. We love doing this for all of you and just want this to reach as many ears as possible.
Yes.
Yes.
So now we can move on to Email My Heart, which is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO.
Yes.
And again, we got a lot of emails this week.
Very popular.
We'll just do 3 this week. I feel like 4 last week was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
And so we'll do 3 and we'll put others on the back burner. So this question comes to us from Jake. Jake says, Dreamgirls Revival. Hi, Matt. I was listening to your most recent podcast and heard y'all talking about the rumored Dreamgirls revival. According to some sources, aka me digging through all the TikTok Broadway tea creators, the revival is coming next season with Alex Newell playing Effie, which I feel like is about to knock some people on their asses in the best way.
That'd be fucking amazing.
My question is, who would you like to see fill out the rest of this cast? Because Alex as Effie... With Alex as Effie, you are going to have some serious heavy hitters to match their energy. Anyway, love the show and hope you are well. One of your rare Jamies, Jake.
Oh, Jamie, thank you so much for emailing us in. That's so kind. We love interacting with Jamies like I did today out on the street.
Out on the street. Well, you don't know. It's not confirmed.
I know.
He could be that Jamie could be my future husband. The biggest Kathy of them all.
The biggest Kathy of them all. Matt Steele, did you have people in mind?
I think Alex Newell as Effie is so much fun.
Yes.
Like that's such a fun idea and could really like blow the roof off of a theater. Honestly, I will say for like a Dreamgirls revival, I don't know if you need names. Like I kind of think if you just get like a really like if you get an Effie that is sure to cause a splash,
right? I
think Dreamgirls kind of sells itself. I don't know, but that's just me. That's also because I'm a big Broadway gay and you put Dreamgirls up and I'm seeing it. But I was thinking, I think Joshua Henry would make a very good Curtis. I wonder if he's a little young, but like it'll be next year. He'll be a year older. But a name that came to my mind was Keke Palmer. Oh. But I'm like, is Keke Palmer, because personality-wise, Keke Palmer is a bit of a Laurel. Like, I think she could really blow the roof off as Laurel.
Right.
But she's such a big name.
Right.
Like, and she is versatile enough to pull off a Dina, I think. She kind of like lives in a Dina/Laurel land.
Right.
That I feel like she can pull off either role, but she's Keke Palmer, so like Adina, I think could work.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I would love to see her Laurel. Like her Laurel would be so
it would be amazing.
Much fun.
And if she were Laurel, and I realize this is a reach, and we were just talking about her, if Halle Bailey was Dina and Alex Newell was Effie, that would be something.
Maybe in a couple of years.
You think she's too young?
No, I feel like Halle Bailey's too big. at this very moment.
Yes,
not that like Keke Palmer's not, but like it's just a different type of like position that they're in their stardom at this point.
Absolutely. And I mean, maybe both of these could be limited engagements.
Sure.
But I feel like wouldn't that be such a cool way to see Halle in person as her star is rising
of course,
to these giant levels?
That's the thing with Halle. It's like her star is like such on a super steep decline, whereas
Right.
Keke Palmer is like the established, has been around since like before Aquila and the Beast. So like Keke Palmer, I think, is a more realistic choice of just being like, and now here is like my Broadway lead, and I will commit doing this and everything. Whereas Halle Bailey, right now at this very moment, is quite busy.
Yeah, she is a bit busy.
Especially even after The Color Purple comes out, like that. Yeah, so I did also think Halle Bailey for a second.
She's cute.
Yeah, so
because she would sing the shit out of those songs, and they have added listen to the live performance. Yes, the Broadway version.
It was added to the London revival from what's it called? Glee.
Amber Riley. Yeah. And I'm like, I guess you can't throw Amber Riley in as well because she's Effie.
Yeah,
she's Effie. That's a great question, though. I love that Jamie question.
It is a very fun question. The next email came to us from Taylor Swift herself.
It's not true.
It says in the from line, it just says Taylor Swift,
which we appreciate.
So I'm gonna believe it's Taylor Swift.
I don't believe it.
And this is a question Taylor Swift would ask. It's basically, do you like my new songs? Email my heart, Taylor Swift reaction video. Hi, Mats. I'm wondering if you heard the new Taylor Swift songs, and if so, what are your thoughts on them? Or is that going to be a reaction video? It is not going to be a reaction video, so it is going to be an email my heart question. And they sent us There's Hits Different, which was released a little bit after Midnight's was released, but just as like a special, I don't even know what it was.
Right.
Then You're Losing Me, which came out this week. Also Snow on the Beach featuring Morlana, which came out this week. And Karma featuring Ice Spice, which of course came out this week.
New music video with that one.
New music video with that one, and that's being pushed to be the single. Also, I know that you will be reacting to Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson on June 23rd, but I think Matt Steele said he was a fan of Maisie Peters and her second album, The Good Witch, is coming out that same day. So I'm wondering if you will also react or do an album review of that one. That would be a lot of work.
It would be.
I think we might be tired, but we can talk about it.
That's true.
And I will absolutely be listening to that Maisie Peters album because I loved her previous album.
So I would plug into the podcast where hopefully Matt Steele will talk about his listening experience. Yes. I don't anticipate there'd be a separate video for it because we'll be very Kelly focused. You know, we're Kelly Clarkson people.
Yes.
Through and through.
So you've heard all the songs, Hits Different, You're Losing Me, Snow on the Beach, featuring Morlana, Karma, featuring Ice Spice. Which one's your favorite?
I have not heard all of those.
Oh, what have you not listened to?
I haven't listened. I heard You're Losing Me from my phone, and I heard I watched the music video for the Ice Spice remix.
Okay, but you listened to the whole You're Losing Me, right?
I think I finished it.
All right, because this is shocking to me because You're Losing Me is one of the best songs she's released in years.
Wow,
I think You're Losing Me is excellent. And girl, from the vault, my ass, you wrote this after that damn breakup.
I need to re-listen to it. Because it was like just playing from my phone speakers. I didn't have headphones in. The lyrics were very cutting. The bridge, especially, where she starts talking about
that bridge through up to the ending.
Yes,
it's devastating and so relatable. And I feel everything. I'm like, this is what I want.
All right.
I think You're Losing Me is great, and the fact that it complements like Cornelia Street so well, and the fact that the chorus kind of complements Labyrinth really well, and we both like Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I love You're Losing Me, and I've always liked Hits Different as well. When I first heard Hits Different, I was like, girl, why wasn't it this instead of Question on the album? Why would you put Question on the album when Hits Different is better?
That is the question.
That is the question. Snow on the Beach. Snow on the Beach, listening to it, I think it's a song that you and I both have liked more as time has gone on.
Right. And I feel like people gave it so much shit when it first came out. I was like, guys, this song is fine. Like, I appreciated it. I liked Lana's little voice notes on it. How is she on there a lot more, this new version?
Yeah, she does like the second verse more and everything. It's very nice.
Good.
And I think Lana's voice sounds beautiful on it.
Right.
And no, I like Snow on the Beach.
Yes.
And Karma featuring Ice Spice, it's Karma featuring Ice Spice.
It's exactly what it sounds like. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I'm a little not needing remixes of songs that the production doesn't change at all. Like, I feel like, we love Beyonce, but she's like, America Has a Problem featuring Kendrick. And it's like, okay, but this is the same. We've just removed a verse from you and added Kendrick, which I guess is cool. But back in my day, Mariah Carey would remake an entire song for a remix. And to me, it's like, it's cool. It's interesting. It's fun to have these little feature moments. But like, So rarely am I going to be excited about a remix in which the production is the same.
Okay.
And so that's how I feel about the Ice Spice remix as well.
I am fine with Taylor not putting as much work into a remix as you think she needs to, because she's also busy writing songs like You're Losing Me. I am fine with the fact that she decided to focus on writing You're Losing Me.
I love it.
As much as she did, because I think You're Losing Me is great.
All right, I'll take another listen.
Please do.
I will.
So this question comes to us from Durga. Durga says, Dearest Mats, my prom is coming Friday, and I'm still in denial that it's already here and grade 12 is almost over.
Wow.
In that same vein, I'd love to hear any stories from your guys' prom and any advice you have on how to enjoy the last month of high school. P.S. Recently, I've been going on walks and listening to full albums, so I'd love to get your recommendations. I'll accept anything. The whole point is to expand my listening. Girl, Caroline or change. Take a 2.5-hour walk.
Kimberly Akimbo, album of the year.
I don't even know if Durga likes musical theater. Well, she will after
these.
She wants
to expand, right?
You want to expand, Durga. Any prom stories?
Any prom stories? Not super. Like, I went to my junior prom, went to my senior prom. It was very fun. There was like an after party after the senior prom where like people were, hooking up and drinking, and I was doing neither. And so I was just also there just being like, oh, wow.
Crazy.
It was just very much like you guys are at a place in your lives that I am not at a place in. And, as a gay, what can you really do? Mm-hmm. But people were having fun, and we love that for them. My biggest memory of my senior year as I was ending it was I think I internally must have been more stressed than I thought I was about this transition, because that's when I began to get semi-regular hives. Like, I would just like have hives all over my body. I would wake up with them, and like I'd be having to take Benadryl to get them down. And I think it was stress-based. It happened to me like the last half of senior year and like the first half of my freshman year of college. And so that was kind of distressing. And there are like little senior things that we did. Like we would, run through the halls after like sliding in mud, which I didn't want to do anyways, but I didn't get a chance to do because I was at home nursing my hives. And so I didn't handle it great. It was a big transition that my body was not ready for.
So advice for Durga, don't get hives.
Don't get hives. And if you get them, just stay home. The thing is, I feel like I'm sure those senior moments that I missed were exciting for some people, but a lot of them involved getting messy. And I liked being clean back then and even now.
We didn't have any like messy moments because my advice for Durga is just going to shit all over your advice, because my advice for Durga is to do every single event and thing possible with your class. Like whatever function is happening that day for the seniors, go to it, arrive when it starts, leave right when it ends. Like do everything, because you will never get that chance again. Just as long as it's legal and safe. just do it. And because these are people who I'm assuming you kind of grew up with, so like you will never have the chance where you're all together again. And these people are so instrumental in like your development and your life and everything, and you will just never have that experience again. So just do it all the fun stuff.
Hey, no, I agree with you. I think you should do it, but not if you have hives.
And as far as prom go, I mean, my proms were very nice. Like I had like our junior prom, and we had a separate junior prom and a senior prom.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I loved both of them. And then a senior prom, there was always what we called post prom, to avoid. So, the faculty wanted kids to avoid going to those parties where debaucherous things were happening.
Right.
They would have you had to go to post prom, which after prom you went to your school and the whole school was decorated in like whatever theme it was. Like our theme was Disney that year, and the whole school was decorated, and they had like bouncy houses and games and like carnival things and like fortune tellers and like all this crazy stuff. And so you were there from probably like midnight after like prom was done to like 8 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was to make sure like kids did not go out and do like dangerous things. And so that was very fun. And I'm going to get on my soapbox. I've talked about this on the podcast before.
Oh, here we go.
About food at prom. When I found out that there were proms out there in America, the land of the free, and these proms did not serve you food, that's embarrassing, and your school is gypping you of a good time. Like when I think it was you who told me that your prom did not have food.
I don't think we had
Our
food.
Prom gave us like a 5-course meal.
Wow.
There were like, because that's what that's what made prom different from a dance. Like dance, like there were snacks and everything, but prom meant you had like, you know, the soup, the salad, the pasta dish, the main course, the dessert.
I mean, we went to Johnny Rockets beforehand, like in our suits and things. I thought that was fun.
But see, that's the school putting it on you to eat and you to like make arrangements yourself. Whereas at prom, it's just like, it's like a wedding. Like you go and there's a whole itinerary and everything. And so when I found out that there were schools out there that did not offer food at proms, like I was shocked and appalled. And so Durga, if they're not having that, I mean, I guess you can't change it now, but like, I suggest maybe you take a stand and tell the kids we are being wronged and we should get discounts on our prom
I love
tickets.
that you're like, we need to make your last time at high school like essentially Footloose.
Lead a revolution, girl. Like lead a revolution. Tell whoever won president of the senior class the next year coming in, like, hey, like get the school to give you the budget to have a prom with a full course meal. Like, please do that. Make a change, Durga.
Also, speaking of the wedding of it all, I feel like there's, at least in some proms that I've seen now, that like people go all out with like prom preparation, like hiring videographers of like, oh, I'm putting on my dress and like we're standing in front of this big arched thing instead of like, oh, we're kind of wearing our things and taking pictures in front of the house. And I think some people have an issue with that. And maybe if like people are spending beyond their means, whatever, but like I'm not in anybody's pockets. And you know what I say? I think it looks great. I like that people are like, this is going to be a big moment for me. Like, let the young people have fun. I feel like there was a big thing online this week about like 2 kids who like had a whole big video and like thing around their prom experience. I'm like, I think they're having fun.
Yeah, just
Good
go for it.
It's harmless.
And they're being creative.
Absolutely.
Which is, you know, should always be encouraged. As long as there's not like, like battles against each other, which causes like stupid teenage drama.
Is the biggest or best of whatever. Like, you don't need that, but
because
make it a moment.
Because guys, you're kids.
Yes, reminder that you're kids. And it's not even your money.
Yeah. Yes,
so
it's not your money.
What are you proving? You didn't make that money.
And all that money and effort should be going into the food at your prom.
Or your college.
And your college, yes.
It's all true.
Yeah.
So is that all the questions you want to go through?
That is, yes.
So Matt Steele.
Yes.
I have a question for you. What has been giving you moments, darling?
Oh, God. On Monday. I sat down at a boba place and I'm like, before work, I'm going to get some, before like I go into my restaurant work, I'm going to get some like actual work done in creating these shot lists for this thing I'm directing. And I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to remain super focused. The second I sit down, I'm just like, let me just pop on Twitter for a second.
Just a second. No one's ever popped on Twitter for a second.
For months, I have been dying for any sort of Color Purple footage. Anything at all. What happened when I sat down? Immediately, the Color Purple trailer was released. I have watched this trailer about 500,000 million times, and every time I like it better than the next. I am so ready for Fantasia's performance. That trailer is so well done.
It's beautiful.
In how it's edited and how it incorporates the song I'm Here into it and how it builds. Visually, the whole movie looks stunning. The trailer is emotional. It's emotive. And you just watch it. And the fact that everyone got excited from it, even people who didn't know that a Color Purple movie was happening, they're just like, I have to see this. This looks great. I'm so excited. Oprah, you are so talented. Steven Spielberg, you are so talented in your producing skills because you are doing it right. And it's so funny that, because, you know, on the Discord, we talk a lot like, before the trailer dropped, we were like, why, when are we getting something? When are we getting something? It's not fair. It's not fair. And then when it came out, I was like, of course we're getting it now, now that it's the week of the Little Mermaid being released. So we can like cash in on that Halle Bailey stock.
Absolutely.
And so everyone's talking about Halle Bailey. She'll pop up on everyone's algorithms. Everyone will be watching this Color Purple trailer. I mean, I love how you're like, I promise I won't talk about Vanderpump Rules every single week on this podcast.
Yes.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Fantasia and her Oscar campaign every single podcast from here on out. Even after she wins, I'm going to still talk about it every single podcast.
Look forward to it.
It's going to be my personality from now until the end of time. She looks amazing in it. Those shots of her, she looks so beautiful. And her vocals are just so, of course, Fantasia perfect. Like, I'm so excited and I'm so ready.
I would say, as a person who I think was a normal level excited about this, like I don't know the show terribly well from front to back, That trailer was fucking excellent.
Excellent.
Like, I was like, why am I this excited about this? Like, I have to watch it opening day, wherever I am. It's going to be Christmas Eve, right? I want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I am just so excited. It looks beautiful. The shots are incredible. Just the cinematography is gorgeous. Obviously, the story is going to be amazing. Obviously, the music's going to be amazing. I was like, you know what? I get it. Because initially I was like, okay, Matt Steele loves what he loves. XYZ, we like that. But I was like, oh, no, I get it. Like, that's the opposite way of when I watched the Cats trailer. You know what I'm saying? Which you had the same reaction to, oddly enough.
Oh, because after I saw a second of that trailer, I was like, yes, I am ready to believe.
It's truly the opposite of Cats, and that's all I could have requested. Like, I'm already so moved. I am prepared to cry. I care so much.
Oh, and the performances just look so great. And just
unbelievable.
Fantasia at the helm. Just
Is she gonna be the second American Idol winner Oscar?
I'm trying desperately to not get my hopes up.
Okay.
I'm trying desperately to tell myself it's not gonna happen. Because I do not want that disappointment on me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remain grounded when it comes to the Fantasia Oscar campaign.
Okay.
Regardless of whatever happens at the Oscars, which I realize are like a year from now, whatever.
Right.
Regardless of whatever happens, we will have Fantasia as Celie recorded on film. We will have the soundtrack of her singing all of those songs and playing the role that she was born to play, and that is Miss Celie in Alice Walker's The Color Goddamn Purple. Oh,
beautiful. I can't wait. Truly. It's literally like so exciting for me to be not as excited, but excited for a movie that you're like making your whole personality, because Babylon I still haven't come around to, and of course Cats was devastating to me. So this is exciting. I get to like really root for you and your film from the stands.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I've earned this.
You really have.
I really have, guys.
For me, I just have to say that if you're not watching the other two, you're doing everything wrong. If you need a reason to hope that the writer's strike ends, watch the other two. It is like obviously been like a kind of broad-ish comedy since its beginning. It was a show about two siblings who their little brother becomes famous, and it is warped into something completely different. Now Molly Shannon, who plays their mom, got like a Kelly Clarkson-esque spin-off talk show, and then in this season, which is kind of fast-forwarded a bit, she has her own network. Like, she is Oprah-level famous, and they're like becoming more successful in their respective careers. But as like the stakes get higher, like the scene, like the episodes are becoming so much more surreal and out there, and it's like there's a whole storyline of Brooke, who is the daughter, and she decides to quit the industry. She was a talent manager, and she's quitting the industry because her boyfriend, Lance, became a nurse during COVID, and he gets more attention. And she decides she wants to start doing good to get more attention. And she goes to an industry party after having announced that she quit the industry, and no one can see her. She's become a ghost. Everyone in the industry only talks to other industry people. So the whole episode is her trying to get the attention of people that are still in the industry. So it's just like brilliant. Wanda Sykes is amazing on the show. Drew Tarver, who plays Carrie, is great. It's just a brilliant piece of television that I can't tell you how absurd it is these days, but is even still grounded in reality. Like, the first episode was all about Carrie. He had finally gotten a part in a movie that was debuting on Hulu. He spent the whole episode trying to get his Hulu login correct, trying to watch it through other people's windows. He finally watched it at Molly Shannon's home theater with like the head of Sony, because she's friends with him. And then he's like getting everything he wants. He's so happy. He goes home, and then as the credits roll, he just looks on Twitter at the like hashtag of like Night Nurse, the name of the movie, and just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. And so it's like,
oh no,
this is dark.
This
is dark. It's absurd. It's hilarious. It is everything. I cannot recommend the other two on, I was going to say HBO Max, but I guess now Max. Enough. Brilliant television.
Well, look, the good thing with the other two and the writer's strike is that all these shows that, you know, you're used to getting like yearly that are, you know, are coming out like 2025 now, and people are devastated. The other two, it's always like 4 years between seasons anyway.
I wish it wasn't.
This is the writer's strike gives the other two a perfect schedule.
Honestly, it's par for the course. I'm excited to see where this season goes, but it's just 10 out of 10 show you got to watch.
All right.
Also one more thing I wanted to say that my mom texted me about. On June 1st, you should go to Peacock and watch a film called Art and Pep. It is a beautiful story about two guys who have been in a relationship for many decades and have built their relationship on activism, and the other one has opened a bar, and it's so much about queer joy and how that bar survived through the pandemic and their activism over their lifetimes, truly, and their beautiful relationship together. Like, if you want to see their romance, it's there as well. It's a beautifully done documentary that's coming to Peacock on June 1st. And also, just because it has to be about me a little bit, the credit song at the end of the film is a song of mine called Used to the Dark. I am so happy to play the smallest role in this film, and that song means a lot to me. So when Mercedes Kane, the director, reached out and asked to use it in the film, I absolutely said yes. I was thrilled. I went to the premiere. I saw it in Outfest, I think about a year ago. So I'm glad it's finally going to be on streaming so that the world can see it, because it's really, really a beautiful documentary. I think you're going to love it.
And it's a fucking awesome song as well.
I mean, yes.
Hello, the song goes off, guys. Used to the Dark. It's available to stream now, by the way.
Absolutely it is.
But if you want to see it in the context of a story,
yes.
Art and Pep, June 1st.
Yes.
You're just becoming a pro at writing credits songs.
I
like
know,
songs
right?
that really like put the exclamation point on, at the end of a movie.
I mean, and for you, it was a bespoke song. I was like, we need to write this for divas, and this is just like, it just fit, I guess.
It just fit.
It just fit.
It just fit.
Oh, all right. Is there anything else we need to tell the people?
I don't think so.
Guys, thank you so much for watching or listening to our podcast this week. Everybody have a happy and safe Memorial Day, and we will be in your ears next week for another episode of Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, we did it.
I love that Grace being like, you've earned it after all your straight boyfriends.
Wait, earned the color purple. I mean, but now we said it. He really has. He really has. Oh, guys, we did it. We made it through the rain.
Oh, lap.
Oh, lap. Thank you.
Yes, we did it.
I was hoping that these would be like that full amount of time, because now I've like kind of added these together. But it's still better. It's still fine. Yes, we got to tell Jessica Kona she loves Used to the Dark, and now Used to the Dark has gotten a placement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I say it? And I was like, of course, when she reached out, I said yes, but also like I did receive money. And so we figured out an amount of money that made sense for all parties.
Oh, that's beautiful. We love negotiations.
We love negotiations. And it was an indie film. I didn't want to charge them out the wazoo.
Of course, yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah.
So I'm with Matt Steele. I think You're Losing Me is better than All Too Well 10-minute version.
Oh, Christian. I love You're Losing Me a lot.
I need to listen to it again.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'm glad that you love it as much as you do.
Yes, I need to listen to it again.
So yeah, me and Christian are on the right side of history here. You, Matt Palmer?
I need to listen to it again.
All right.
I just, I love Taylor. I am of the opinion of that we have released this album. Its variants, its re-releases a lot of times.
Sure.
Yes. So it's hard for me to get excited again about an album that's come out so many times and has so many variants. But I will give it a proper listen, I promise.
I just feel like, when was the last time she wrote a breakup song where I really felt her personal connection in it?
Because Death by a Thousand Cuts is definitely a breakup song.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
that's a
phenomenal song.
I feel her connection to it.
Hello?
But I feel her connection to that, even if it's not about anything specifically personal to her. I feel her connection to it.
That was a great one.
I would say Death by a Thousand, but breakup ballad, I would say.
Okay. All right. I'm excited to give it another listen, and I promise I will. But before I do that, I'm going to watch the Succession finale.
Good for you.
I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready. I'm just...
Final call. Who do you... I know you want Shiv to be whatever happens.
I want...
What's your prediction, though? Do you think it's going to be Shiv?
My prediction is that Alexander Skarsgård's company does buy Waystar Royco, and that Alexander Skarsgård puts Kindle at the head of it, backstabbing Shiv, and it's over.
And then it's over.
And then it's over. That is my theory going into watching the show. But yeah, I just don't. I mean, I would love if Shiv won. I'm of course rooting for the lady, but man, she's had so many episodes where it's like, ooh, girl, this isn't working out for you right now. So I'd love to see a happy ending for her, but I don't know how plausible that is.
Okay.
You
know what? Well, then, if you're rooting for it, I'm rooting for it.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, I don't care. But I just want you to be happy,
I thank you. Rajendra says Mariah Carey remixes practically new songs. That's true. Grace says Mariah spoiled her fans for all other artists, and that's absolutely true. Honestly. What a handsome man Alexander is, and his brother. Yes, he was very hot from the paparazzi video onward.
Was that his first like thing? I
don't know if it was his first thing. It was the first thing I think of him being in.
I remember him in The Northman, sword fighting naked in a volcano with another gentleman.
Was he also in True Blood? Was he the blonde man in True Blood?
I don't know nothing about True Blood.
I think he was.
Anna Paquin and Vampires. It was 2010 or whatever.
Oop, not F Schiff. I mean, F all of them, honestly. If you forget, like, because sometimes you want to think of their good qualities, but then you watch the episode in which there's an election and it's like, oh no, you all are all what we're fighting against. He was in True Blood. Okay, great. Alexander Skarsgård is on the show. Wow, yeah, he's been on the show for the past season or two. And yeah, he's like plays a Swiss tech billionaire person who's attempting to buy the company in question.
All right.
Yes, it's all true.
What is the company? Like, what do they sell?
It's like the Murdochs, essentially. It's like they're a big media conglomerate. They own like what is ATN, which is basically Fox News, and different forms of news media, papers, things like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. How do I marry someone in like that?
I mean, if you shouldn't. From what I'm watching, you really shouldn't. But there are rich people who do things that are less harmful to society.
Sure. But a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And I can change them like from the inside.
You can't.
I can.
More news about dating. You
Listen,
can't change them.
I've gone on dates where men have said, "Wow, you're a force." So I'm like, yes, I am.
I'm not arguing that you are not a force. Of course you're a force.
Yeah.
You cannot change people. Period. Yeah. So stop with the smokers.
Stop with the straight guys
straight guys who smoke. I think that's a good goal for 2023.
Oh, God.
Everyone likes what they like. But,
Listen,
doesn't smoke.
I like a lot of different things.
You do.
I can't help it that they like me.
I bet we could find a Chris Colfer who likes you. Go to one of the sugar daddy websites. They have those. That's true.
I don't want to.
Do they have gay versions?
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe, I don't know.
Force to be reckoned with. Tyler knows it.
Force to be reckoned with.
It's all true.
Yeah.
It's all true. All right. Is it time?
It might be time.
Guys, this is a joy. Thank you for joining. And we'll be back next week to talk to all of you. Have a good long weekend for those of you who are celebrating.
Happy Memorial Day. We'll remember this episode of the podcast always.
I'll remember it well.
Yes. All too well.
The last song in Guys and Dolls would disagree. What is the last song in Guys and Dolls?
The reprise of Guys and Dolls. Marry the Man Today. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I go by Frank Lesser's philosophy.
What is that?
Marry the man today and change his ways tomorrow.
I don't know about Frank. I don't know if Frank's right on that.
Adelaide and Sarah found happiness, and that is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for all of the ladies.
I like to think I'm a mix between Adelaide and Sarah.
What are they like?
Iconic and iconic.
Okay, great.
You're just a Sarah.
It's because she's the most iconic?
She's the most stubborn.
I don't really think of myself as stubborn.
No, not at all.
I feel like I'm just so open, flowing with the wind,
Yes, of course.
Easy going.
Of course.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye.